my name is Jennifer Ross, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. Welcome back to Discovery on Adventure Island. Today, we are reminded to shine with trust. The color of the day today is green, and the surprise of the day is in your green bag. So you can open this green bag today and see what the surprise is. Today, our Bible story is Moses and the Burning Bush, which is one of my favorite Bible stories.
Hi friends, I'm Miss Nisi, your song leader for this year's Staycation Bible School. This song is called Little Nightlight, and it's a pretty fun, different spin on a song that I bet you guys all know. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. All we're doing is we're changing that tune and those words, and we're taking the story and putting it in to this song, Little Nightlight. So you'll still have your nightlight and you'll cover it with a bushel. No! Awesome. But there is a rap part of this song, which I think you're really gonna like. So I want to teach you those lyrics because they come and go really fast. Repeat after me. Jesus says to me, Jesus says to me, let your light shine bright, let your light shine bright for the world to see, for the world to see. Awesome. So that is, Jesus says to me, let your light shine bright for the world to see. Try that with me. Ready, go. Jesus says to me, let your light shine bright for the world to see. Here's a new part. Guess who gets all the praise? Guess who gets all the praise? When they see my good deeds, when they see my good deeds. It's all about Christ. It's all about Christ. It's not about me. It's not about me. So here's that second part. Guess who gets all the praise when they see my good deeds? It's all about Christ. It's not about me. Let's try just that part together. Guess who gets? Ready, go. Guess who gets all the praise when they see my good deeds? It's all about Christ. It's not about me. Let's do this rap together, and then we can do it with the song. It starts with Jesus says to me. Here we go. Jesus says to me, let your light shine bright for the world to see. Guess who gets all the praise when they see my good deeds? It's all about Christ. It's not about me. Here we go, friends.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus says to me, let your light shine bright for the world to see. Guess who gets all the praise when they see my good deeds? It's all about Christ, it's not about me. Cause I'm just a little light, but I burn with the power of the sun's light. All the night lights in the air, let his love shine bright for the world to see. I'm just a little light, but I burn with the power of the sun's light. All the night lights in the air, let his love shine bright for the world to see. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus says to me, let your light shine bright for the world to see. Guess who gets all the praise when they see my good deeds? It's all about Christ, it's not about me. Cause I'm just a little light, but I burn with the power of the sun's light. All the night lights in the air, let his love shine bright for the world to see. I'm just a little light, but I burn with the power of the sun's light. All the night lights in the air, let his love shine bright for the world to see. I'm just a little light, but I burn with the power of the sun's light. All the night lights in the air, let his love shine.
Shine! Your light has come.
The Lord's glory has shone upon you. Isaiah 60, verse 1.
Now let's say the verse together.
All right! Shine! Your light has come.
The Lord's glory has shone upon you. Isaiah 60, verse 1.
Hi everyone, my name is Evan Wesley Curry. I'm the Associate Director of Music and organist here at Myers Park, and I hope you all are enjoying Staycation Bible School at home. I know the Children's Ministry has put in a lot of effort to really make sure that you enjoy this experience. And one thing that Betsy and I, who's filming right now, that we thought would be great is to show you the organ. When I was growing up, obviously I was so entranced by the organ because I thought it was the coolest instrument in the world, because you have all of these stops which make different sounds. And if you can see down at my feet, I actually play with my feet, and they're opening up boxes, which are these pedals right here. They kind of look like gas pedals. So. It's really a lot of fun to play with your feet. So, in a nutshell, the organ is an extremely complicated instrument. You have this organ here. You also have the organ in the back, which I use a lot on Sunday mornings. I would watch your head and everything, but come on through. So, we're now actually in the organ chamber, so not too many people get to come back here because you can see it's really, really tight. There are tons of pipes, and this is just one section of the organ. So if you remember in the video that we did before, if you look here, you can kind of see the shutters. They're open right now, but the gas pedals, as I normally call them, when they're closed, these shutters enclose this entire box. So the sound from all of these pipes that you see actually stays in here. And then when I open them, the sound is allowed to go out into the room. So now you can kind of see when I talk about the swell or the choir box and the sound of it, pipes actually swelling out. That's where the name comes from. It's a swell of sound, meaning whew, going out into the room. We talked about some really big and some really small pipes, and you can see down here these teeny tiny pipes. Let me see if I can squeeze through here for you all. So some of these, like right here, look like a pencil almost that's been broken in half, and it's maybe the size of a straw. So these are some of the highest sounds on the organ. And then you can see as you move up different rows. So this right here is a trumpet row, and it kind of looks a little bit like a trumpet as the pipe flares, and you can see that it gets higher and higher and higher, which means the sound gets lower. So these are the highest trumpet sounds, and the ones over there are the lowest. And you'll see there are just tons of pipes everywhere. So when an organ tuner comes in to actually tune the pipes, he has to go through each one of these pipes individually. Now there's probably, I would venture to say, at least 1,000 or more pipes just in this section of the organ. And remember, this is just one section of the organ, actually one of the smaller sections of the organ. So I thought it was interesting just to show you all the different sounds, sizes, and inside of the pipe organ. You'll notice that some of the pipes are actually made out of wood, if you can see over here. Some are made out of metal, and they're all in different shapes and sizes. Some flare out, some are just vertical pipes, like what you would see over there. And all of those give it different tones and color qualities, which make sounds like the trumpet, like the flute, like an oboe, like a clarinet. So it mimics the orchestra. So, welcome to the organ at Myers Park United Methodist Church. Hope you've enjoyed this little tour, and thank you again to Betsy for crawling up here in the organ with me. It's a little daunting, but we wanted to make sure that you guys were fully aware of what an organ is, how it works, and just how cool it is to play an organ and be an organist. So thank you for joining us. I would like to take this time now, as you're at home with Staycation Bible School and as church is reopening and is reopened, feel free to come up to the organ anytime on a Sunday or even drop by during the week. I love to show people the organ and play for them. You're more than welcome to even sit down. I know many of you have always asked about the chimes that the organ has. And of course, everybody's favorite, which we call the star or the cymbal sterns. So it's just tons of possibilities to make music, and that's what I love, is that I'm not limited at the organ, is that there's always something different that I can do, and there's tons of music for it. So I hope you've enjoyed this little demo and that you'll come and meet me and sit down on the organ bench with me and we can talk through it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Staycation Bible School. Thank you guys for being here.
Moses was keeping the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian. He led his flock beyond the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of a bush. He looked at the bush, and the bush was blazing, yet it was not consumed. Then Moses said, I must turn aside and look at this great sight, and see why the bush is not burned up. When the Lord saw that he had turned aside to see, God called to him out of the bush, Moses, Moses, and he said, Here I am. Then he said, Come no closer. Remove the sandals from your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. He said further, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God.
Exodus 3, verses 13 through 15. But Moses said to God, If I come to the Israelites and say to them, The God of your ancestors has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. He said further, Thus you shall say to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, Thus you shall say to the Israelites, The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my title for all generations.
So good to be with you all during this Staycation Bible School. How cool is this? So grateful for the opportunity to share about Exodus, about Moses, about God, about Pharaoh, Egypt, and Israelites. So a couple of things I wanted to share with you today, but first, before we even dive into what happens with the burning bush, notice that Moses actually isn't looking for something holy and miraculous and wonderful, right? Moses is just doing his daily chores and routines when he runs into, by happenstance, this never-ending burning bush. So what do I learn from this? What can we maybe learn from this? That perhaps it is in the very flow of our daily, faithful, everyday doing that we often encounter something wonderful and miraculous. And we don't have to go looking for something great, but instead I think God just always calls us to be faithful and fruitful, kind, gentle, and loving each and every day. In the midst of that, something like this, the very encounter that Moses has, can and will indeed happen. So be faithful to what you're called to be today, every day. If you're a student, be the best student you can be. If you work, be the best worker you can be, right? If you are charged with a specific task of doing, do the very best you can do, right? To be faithful, to be fruitful, to be kind, to be gentle, to be loving. Cool. All right. So in the flow of this every day, Moses encounters the burning bush who speaks to him to say, take off your sandals, for this is holy ground. And in this encounter, I wanted to share three things. Our theme is trust. We can trust that God hears us. We can trust that God calls and sends us. And we can trust that God will equip us. All right, so God hears us. God tells Moses, I have heard the cries of my people from the hands of the oppressors. I see what's going on. I see your tears. We can trust that God hears us. So whenever we find ourselves in times of trouble, when we are not doing well, trust that God hears you, that God hears what's happening in our lives. So secondly, God says, I'm going to call and send you to deliver a message to Pharaoh and to free my people. Right? So that's the second trust. Trust that God will call you, friends, call us to do God's good work together. Marvelous. How cool is that? And third, that God will equip us. So this is really interesting because Moses, after having been called by God, gives God all kinds of different reasons. Some might say excuses of why he is not the right guy. Moses is telling God over and over again, hey, I'm not the right guy. I don't know how to speak. They'll ignore me. Who am I? And God says, do not worry. I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to equip you to do the very work that I'm calling you to do. So, trust. Trust in the Lord. Trust God that God hears us when we are in trouble. That God will call and send us to do God's work. And third, that God will equip you and me, all of us, the church at Marsh Park United Methodist Church, to do God's good works together, to love God and to love our neighbors. I'm so grateful, and I trust God together. Thanks be to God. Amen.
This song is called Your Light Has Come, and you'll recognize the lyrics as this week's signal verse, Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. So for this one, when it says arise, we're going to raise our hands up. Arise, shine, and now we're going to wave our hand in the air. For your light has come. Try that again. Arise, shine, for your light has come. And now for this next part, you're going to motion in front of you both ways. And the glory of the Lord has shone upon you. What comes next? Arise, arise, shine, for your light has come. Awesome. Let's do it with the music.
Each new day is another day. We will praise you for all you've done, for sending us your Son to light up the world. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Arise, shine, for your light has
favorite thing from the nature walk that I found was a rock. People at home, what was your favorite? Oh, that's awesome.
That was mine too.
Good choice.
Yep. Well, you know, I'm trusting that God will help us get off this island, but it's hard some days.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to remember that God loves us, and that's why nature is so cool. Nature's a reminder of God's love. Oh, I love that cool story in nature about the burning bush where God teaches Moses how to trust.
You know, I bet there's a bush or a tree or something that's green, and maybe it'll help us find another treasure map or another clue. Like this one.
Oh.
Some have green thumbs, others have fancy feet. Play a game of shoeless shepherds and you'll discover something really neat. Oh.
Yeah.
What is shoeless shepherds?
I think I remember that game. We used to play that on my dad's boat. Oh, it's so much fun. Hey, you know what? Steve and I will show you how to play.
Good. Okay. Hold on. I got this. Oh!
Got it.
Wow, that game was a lot of fun. Thanks for teaching me, friends. But you know what else? There was something else written on this map, and I think we should read it. Arise, shine, your light has come. The glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Isaiah 60, verse 1.
Huh. I feel like we've come across that verse a lot. Maybe it'll help us get off this island. I think we should remember it and say it one more time.
Yeah, can you help us at home?
Here we go. Arise, shine, your light has come. The glory of the Lord has shone upon you. Isaiah 60, verse 1.
Arise and shine! Arise and shine! Squawk!
Well, if I have to be stuck on this island, at least I'm stuck with you guys.
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe we should play another game of shoeless shepherds?
Oh,
Yeah,
let's go!
come on.
What will happen to these shoeless shepherds? Tune in tomorrow to find out. Welcome back to Staycation Bible School Trivia Time. Now for question number 1. In our signal verse, on whom has God's light shone? Is it birds, trees, dinosaurs, or you? Think about it over these next 10 seconds. Get ready with your answer. That's right. God's light has shone on you. And now for question number 2. What was Moses taking care of in the beginning of the story? Is it a flock of sheep, seagulls, palm trees, or reeds? Think back on today's story. What was Moses taking care of? You're right again, he was taking care of sheep. Question number 3. To whom did the sheep belong? Did the sheep belong to Moses, Noah, no one, or Jethro? To whom did the sheep belong? That's right, they were Jethro's sheep. Question number 4. Where was Moses when he saw the burning bush? Was he at the beach? Was he on Adventure Island? Horeb, God's mountain? Or was he in a basket? Where was Moses? Can't fool you. He was on God's mountain, Horeb. And now for our final question of the day. What did God tell Moses to remove? Was it his sandals, his worries, his cares, or tacos? What did God tell Moses to remove? The answer is sandals. He was standing on holy ground. We'll see you tomorrow for more Staycation Bible School fun.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, our offering is for loaves and fishes, and Zoe empowers.
This is Grace. She lives in Rwanda, where her life began as a nightmare. When Grace was 1 year old, she lost her entire family. Her mother, father, and 9 brothers and sisters were all victims of the genocide. She lived on the street, and her only dream was food for the day. Then Grace met Zoe. Zoe helps orphans in Africa out of poverty. Zoe helped Grace to dream bigger. Zoe taught Grace to farm, gave her 3 bowls of beans and a plot of land. Look what Grace has done. From 3 bowls of beans, Grace harvested 30 bowls, then rice, then bananas, chicken, pigs, and goats. And this summer, Grace got a cow. From homeless to home owner, from orphan girl to adoptive mother. Now Grace is living her dream.
Before we were a problem, but today we are like an answer in our community.
Amazing what Grace can do.
Tomorrow, the color of the day is blue, and we will also be doing communion tomorrow. So if you get a chance today and you want to make bread, there's a recipe in your VBS bag. You can make the bread in the bag, and it's super fun to squish around. But please don't worry, if you don't have time to make the bread, you can just use whatever you have in your house, crackers or whatever bread you have. So let's close in prayer. Lord, you call us to take steps of trust. Like Moses, listening is always a must. Your love for us shines like a light, and we can, in turn, make the world bright. Amen. I hope you had a great time today. See you tomorrow.